Let's get into that first story. We got this tweet here from Libs of TikTok. NYPD arrest multiple people, including a young child, for trying to enter a museum without proof of vaccination. This, I think, shows you the extreme degrees some of these U.S. cities are willing to go. At the same time, check this out. Face mask rules and COVID passes to end in England. They're also saying that people can start working from home. So here's my question. What is this contrast? How are we? We're America. All right. We declared independence from them because we want freedom. And now over there in the UK, they're like, yeah, we're going to get rid of all this stuff. No COVID passes, freedom. And then here in the United States, we're split apart by people who want mandates and want to push it to the extreme and people who don't.
Well, some people just want to trample on freedom and squeeze that lemon to the last drop, as of course cases are going down dramatically. The UK is obviously getting rid of all of their mandates, their lockdowns and restrictions. This is also the kind of dichotomy that's happening right now between that hipster clothing company. What is it called? Carhartt and Starbucks. Whoa. Yuppie hipsters wear that all the time, just for the record.
And that was appropriated from us rural folks, by the way.
Exactly. But the video that we saw today just shows you the absurdity. I mean, we don't even see this kind of larger push for the vaccine like we did before, because a lot of people are realizing a lot of bigger truths here. And it wasn't just the United Kingdom, it was also the Czech Republic that announced that vax mandates are totally gone in their country because the president called them nonsense from the start. Those are his own words. So we're seeing a big unraveling, which we've been talking about for weeks on this program. I've been saying, hey, a lot of things are going to change very dramatically in 2022, and this is it, and it's happening in front of our eyes. And this, to me, is the last drop that this kind of establishment has to squeeze everything they can out of this tragedy that unfolded on the world.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing is a representation of the two different realities that we both live in right now. We have two different sides of reality for, large swaths of the population, including countries. And of course, we're seeing it here in the United States with states, right? So we see people by hundreds of thousands that are fleeing these blue states, places like New York, going to Florida, going to Texas, going to places where they have freedom and they aren't being told that they can't enter a store. They're going to have a child arrested. This is absurd, right? So this type of stuff is actually going to drive more and more people to the places where they will get freedom. And it's going to accelerate the balkanization that I think we're seeing in the United States right now.
And there are people who don't mind living in these places. They don't think twice. They walk up to their 7-Eleven parking lot and the nice man comes and gives them their shot and gives them their card and they're happy with it. And there are celebrities who advocate for that. My position is and always has been, you need sound advice from a trusted medical professional. Hey, that's what YouTube says you're supposed to say. Yet for some reason, there are high-profile celebrities who advocate for you to not do that, but to just go into a 7-Eleven parking lot, which is the craziest thing to me. But hey, look, you know what? My position is live and let live. If you live in New York or California or Cook County, the Chicagoland area, and you want to just do whatever you want, man. Don't look at me. I mean, I'll tell you what I think. But people are going to be staying and other people are going to be going. And that hyperpolarization we've seen in this country, you mentioned balkanization, this is accelerating it.
Yeah, I think it's inevitable, right? I think, when you have a country where people live in these two different spheres, these two different realities, what do we share in common anymore? What makes us united? I mean, just, a piece of paper, right? Is this what makes us united?
No.
Because there's people that don't even believe in this anymore.
And you're holding the Declaration of Independence in the Constitution. But I'll point this out. People on the right all the time are like, Tim Pool's a liberal or he's a centrist or center left. And I'm like, I don't think those words matter anymore.
Right.
Because what this is really about is, do you believe in reality or not?
Right.
You can have a bunch of views on religion that I don't have, but we both look at the news, we both break things down and say, hey, this thing is true and this thing isn't. Right? Censorship, it's happening. We both are more likely to believe in aspects of freedom that the left will completely ignore or disregard, even if we have some disagreements. The left believes, I quote unquote the left, the establishment left, they believe outright falsehoods, and they it's almost like they want to. Russiagate for years, Jussie Smollett, Covington, all of these things that should stop and give you pause and be like, maybe that's not correct. So we have a ton of people on this show. Just so happens that it is more so the colloquial right. And it's not that we're politically right-wing on this show. Certainly we all have varying opinions, but it's because we all agree on what's true. So I don't know what left and right even means at this point, but if there are two groups of people that completely view the world in two different ways, they're not going to work together.
I feel like it's more nuanced than do you do you believe in reality or not? More that it's more the question is, how do you perceive reality? And it's different for every individual, although it seems like it's 50-50-ish. Like most people kind of see reality in a certain way, similarly in another group. I don't even think it's that simple that it's two groups. I think it's so many different groups of people.
I see what you're saying, but what I mean specifically is Russiagate was fake. Donald Trump did not collude with Russia. That was a false narrative from the press. And there
seems
are people,
to be fake, yeah.
Seems to be. No, it's definitively fake.
From what the proof, from the evidence I've seen, it seems to be. I'm not going to lay my hat on any of this.
I think that's actually smart of you, because you haven't done the research I've done. I can definitively say I've seen enough that beyond a reasonable doubt, it is true. Trump did not do this. For you trust me. You've seen some stuff.
Good point.
So that's actually a fair assessment. But if you're someone who says after 5 years of all of the lies, how much did they spend on the Mueller investigation? It pulls up nothing. Then they lie about the Ukraine phone call. They lie about everything Trump does. At a certain point, if you still believe that and you still believe them, it has to be willful.
Right. I think ultimately what we're seeing here is what is actual reality, right? Where reality exists, and then what is the reality that the establishment regime wants us to believe exists, right? And in the reality that exists is the truth. And in that reality, if you separate the Democrat versus Republican stuff and you just talk about, basic facts of life, most people, whether you're Democrat or Republican, you want to provide for your family, you want to protect your family, you want to live in a safe society where you can go to the store without having your child arrested, right? I think Democrat or Republican, I think we can agree on that type of stuff. And this divide that this illusion that they have, they're the uniparty. They share the values. They have a unified objective. The regime is against us. It's us versus the regime. It's not Democrat versus Republican, because ultimately when you break down what Democrats and Republicans as human beings, it's human beings versus these technocratic tyrants, right? That is the ultimate, dichotomy here of what's going on.
Absolutely.
Whatever lives is absolutely. It's when I look right at it.
It's absolutely. It's either you believe in freedom or the subjugation of the free human spirit. And there are still some people holding out. But I would say by and large, I think a lot of people are realizing that they were scammed, that they were lied to, that they were not being told the truth. This video that we just saw happened in New York City. The state.
Well, we should play it, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, there's cursing.
Talking,
there's cursing in there, so we might have to cut the audio.
It.
But this is video of activists doing the sit-ins that we literally saw decades ago when, of course, segregation was legal here in the United States. Discrimination based on people's own personal medical advice is absolutely deplorable. It's a disgusting policy that the NYPD is willingly carrying out on behests of the state. And there's also reports that the mother of this child also had CPS called on her. So it does seem like the state is trying to punish all these individuals, all these activists standing up for their personal liberty, for their individual right to be able to participate in society without needing to get government permission. A domestic passport system is absolutely insane, and these people are trying to institutionalize it, and luckily that battle has been lost. I think the big domino, which is the United Kingdom, has fallen. More dominoes will fall from here. And when you look at the numbers, especially when it comes to cases, the UK, when it comes to cases, it looks like it's about 1 week ahead of the United States. So, and right now in the UK, the cases are dramatically going down, and a lot of people expect the cases to go down in the United States because, and when that happens, this whole game is going to be unraveled to the American public.
How mad do you think people are going to be when they were like, they said wear masks, they said get vaxxed, they said get 2 shots, get 3 shots, they still locked us down, and then after we did everything they asked, they just release all the lockdowns, and everyone who disobeyed gets to freely participate. They're going to
think about the awakening. Think about the awakening of that, though. If you're someone who got, the 4th booster and wore the mask every day and stayed home and locked down and all that stuff, and all of a sudden this all ends, what does that do to your psyche, right?
I don't know, man. You'd think at this point people would be like, maybe I shouldn't trust the establishment narrative, but they just keep doing it.
Well, I think this is the red pill moment. This is it. It's like an evolutionary necessity that people are exposed to the reality. And it happened to me in 2005 because I was on the internet making videos and people were like, hey, did you know about the Federal Reserve? Did you know about the military-industrial complex? And these were like new words to me. I was like, well, no, but tell me. Oh my gosh. Hey, everyone. They're like, Ian, you're crazy. But now it's you cannot deny when the people are injecting you or coercing you to inject yourself, and then you find out that fill in the blank, you might go nuts.
Well, you find out that in the UK, the Vax passport's done.
Yeah.
So there were people who were told, if you want to participate and go to bars and restaurants, you have to do this. And they said, okay. And now, a few months later, they go, actually, nah, scrap it.
Actually, it's a less
People are
lethal
probably
variant.
like, it's not about that. For me, it's not about the science. It's not about the medical stuff. That's your personal business. It's the people who are told, if you want to go out to eat, you have to do what we tell you to do. And they did. I don't care if it's wear a fuzzy hat or get a vaccine. The point is, the people who obeyed the government ultimately end up realizing they shouldn't have. They should have done what was right for them. And if that means going to a doctor, and we've had a lot of people on the show who have been vaccinated. They're older, and their doctors advised it. There's a lot of people who probably don't care about this. And that's the other important thing. You're going to see a lot of people on the left being like, oh, they're so worked up. No, I recognize that a good portion of people probably went to their doctor, got a vaccine, and said, have a nice day, and never thought twice. But there are a lot of people who are just doing whatever they're told by the state when they realize... I'll give you an example. There's that guy in a store stalking a woman, screaming, is anyone else mad that we all have to wear masks and she isn't wearing one? Mm-hmm. That's exactly who I'm talking about. Those people are going to lose it when they're like, no, but I did what I was told.
Yeah, they need they're going to need like a safe place to regain sanity. So it's an opportunity to make fun of people and be like, you stupid idiot, look how you fell for that, you moron, and just make people so angry and hateful. But ultimately, I think if we can be forgiving and kind.
I was just going to say, it's an opportunity for empathy, because if we show them empathy, then they will be more open to our ideas and saying, listen next time. You called us conspiracy theorists. You called us, extremists and all this stuff, and anti-science and all this stuff. And now you've woken up to this. Well, maybe next time they'll listen to us if we show them a little bit of empathy this time. I think that has a powerful effect.
I think a lot of people are going to go crazy. I think those feelings are going to be exacerbated, specifically when it comes to individuals who are still locked down. I use that word specifically because I know exactly what I'm doing here. I posted a meme on my Instagram page showing a confused, blonde-haired, bare-chested Australian on barbed wire looking confused. And it says, Australians watching the UK remove all mask mandates. And there's going to be a feeling in Australia, in the Netherlands, being like, why are we still doing this when the rest of the world didn't do this? And I truly do believe what Florida did during this entire saga was absolutely crucial when it came to defeating the mandates and lockdowns here in the United States. If it wasn't for Florida, if it wasn't for Governor DeSantis, Texas followed him. Other states followed his lead, specifically saying, we're not even going to implement this here in the first place. And because of that, this is why I think it wasn't, set into play all throughout the United States, because of him standing up and saying no. Other states are saying no right now. Other countries are saying no right now. And other countries are going to be looking on, be like, hey, they get to have some freedom. We want some of that too.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to watch live, you can check out this channel Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Now, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and if you want more unfiltered and uncensored content with all of these guests, go to timcast.com and become a member. All of these guests you know and love in exclusive segments on our website where we are unrestricted in what we talk about, so you'll definitely not want to miss it. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all next time.